Hello everybody, it's your boy MC. I want to talk to you about health stuff and things that you should know when you get infections or you get a certain thing called strep throat or you get tonsillitis. I want to talk about that today in this video. So I'm trying to be more informative, so I'm going to try to make this more interesting in some kind of way. So if I do something random, it's just to grab your attention. Okay, so strep throat is an infection in the throat. It causes inflammation, it causes a lot of pain, right? Sometimes you throw up a lot, or you spit up kind of like a phlegmy kind of green shit. Usually it's just like it's either dead white blood cells that have been changed over from in color or whatever, right? Usually it's from the bacteria itself. Doctors haven't really figured out. They figured out that it could be either dead white blood cells that change this different color, or whatever, that make that green substance, whatever, or it could be just the bacteria itself. But usually, most of the time, it's that bacteria itself. It's green. And before you get into like the full fledged of a strep throat, whatever, right? In the beginning stages, it's an incubator stage, right? Incubator stage is like first you don't feel any signs at all, like there's no signs at all. And people who are healthy can have strep throat too and have no signs at all, period, right? But it's when the thing about strep throat is that when your immune system goes really down, say like you go out, say like you drink a lot, whatever, right? One day you wanted to go out with your friends and you drank a lot, whatever, and after you just were shit faced, and after that, from you being shit faced, whatever, next morning you start to feel that your tonsils hurt, or your tonsils are enlarged, or your throat feels painful, whatever, or you have a sore throat. Usually it comes off a sore throat first, not that you think that, oh, what the hell's wrong with me, right? And then you go into like kind of a fever-ish, which what your body's trying to do is trying to destroy whatever is trying to invade your system, whatever, right? So your body goes up to very large temperatures, whatever, to kill the virus or the bacteria itself. Now, tonsillitis is when your tonsils themselves fail. Like, they fail to fight off the bacteria itself or the virus itself, and it overwhelms it. And what I mean by overwhelms it means that it's doing so much. Your tonsils are doing so much work that they don't have enough strength to fight off the bacterial virus itself. So it can mean that because your immunity is low or lower or whatever, because you were shit faced the other day or whatever, right? You don't have the right immune power or the immune system to fight things off, whatever, right? So like it could be either that your vitamin C levels are low, your vitamin A, D, D3, so one of those factors are low, and your body needs that to fight off the infection itself. Now this progresses, it will come to laryngitis, you'll lose your voice. You will have the same kind of fevers once in a while, whatever, right? And most of the time, when you wake up in the morning, you will spit out something that's like a phlegm, whatever. Sometimes it's not a phlegm that is green; it can be yellow, whatever. But it's some kind of form of phlegm that's disgusting, and no one really wants to get that shit, right? So, normally what people do is that they go to the doctor and they get the first thing the doctor will give you is antibiotics, right? And the thing about antibiotics that I don't like is that what it does to your body is, it helps you fight off the infection, right? But it's like a quick fix to a long-term problem, right? So, if you use antibiotics, right, to get rid of an infection, what it's actually doing, your body has a thing in your gut called gut flora, right? And there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. And think of this like yin and yang, whatever, right? If one has too much, the next one can't exist, right? So when one is out of whack, the next one doesn't work properly. So in this case, since you have an infection or whatever, usually the strep throat or tonsillitis, either one of those two, whatever, right? Or an infection in general, right? When you have an infection, right, your gut flora has changed over into the bad bacteria. The most dominant part that used to be there is your good bacteria, but since it's been taken over by bad bacteria, it's causing a lot of acidic effect inside your body and your intestines, right? So your body's not working very properly because it's too acidic, right? But if you have good bacteria, you're like there's no actually escape from this. Like they both have to be balanced. You can't have really good bacteria inside your body and have no bad bacteria at all. You have to have both of them, whatever, right? Which is really funny in a way, because if you have too much good bacteria, you can have a lot of diarrhea. You could probably throw up sometimes. It's still like the same thing. You can be nausea a lot, but if you have a lot of bacteria, it's just like you have most people. If it's not an infection itself, it's acid reflux. Acid reflux is when the acid, like when you swallow food or when you consume food or whatever, and it hasn't been like digested properly, or it hasn't been gone all the way down to past your esophagus to your stomach, whatever. It gets like when your food's digesting, whatever, it will come up to your esophagus and it will damage the esophagus, making it very faulty. And when it does that, it disturbs the flow of your throat, like the flora on your throat, because your throat as well also has good bacteria and bad bacteria. And if it gets infected or whatever, but if the acid inside your body is your esophagus, it will get infected, and that will also cause an infection as well. Or it could erode your esophagus, making it a cancer. Actually, this thing can actually give you cancer, right? Like in your throat, making it faulty. Like it's called like erosion, right? To the esophagus. Most people do when they get acid reflux. They go to the doctor and they ask for, can I have acid reflux? Can I have acid reducers or whatever, right? And you can even get acid reducers at your pharmacy or whatever. And they either prescribe it to you or you go on your own and get it. And the thing what acid reducers do, they lower the acid levels inside your stomach, so it doesn't that acid reflux doesn't happen, doesn't reach your esophagus anymore. It tries to disable that effect, right? And it will last for like 12 hours straight, right? But it's not very healthy to do that, because it's one in itself, it's a drug, right? And it's not normal for the body to digest those things, right? So when you use acid reducers, it disturbs your stomach, or in some ways, people use acid reducers to heal the stomach in a way, because there's too much acid in their stomach, whatever. But in another way, most of the cases that it's just too much acid inside your stomach, and it needs to get rid of it, whatever, right? But in other cases, it's not acid itself. It's like it's low on acid, right? And if you do that, it kind of doesn't fix the problem at all. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell you about alternatives instead of using antibiotics. And I have some right now. I can tell you things that you can use to fight off infection. If you have tonsillitis or you have strep throat, you can use a herb. We're going to the herbal world now. You can use a herb called either cat's claw, or you can use a herb called echinacea. But echinacea is used for in the beginning stages, like when you feel a cold is coming on, if you feel the infection is coming on or whatever, just like the first stages, you should take echinacea, because it gives your body that ability to fight off the infection before it gets out of control, right? And some vitamins you should take is vitamin D3. It's really good for your bones to absorb certain not proteins itself, other vitamins, like other nutrients that your body needs, right? That and zinc. Zinc is good for your body, because it helps you fight off free radicals that are like viruses or bacteria that try to infect you, right? And the obvious vitamin C is generally better than, it's like the overall vitamin that helps the body. We can't, as people, whatever, we can't synthesize vitamin C. And there's animals that can synthesize their own vitamin C, whatever, but humans can't for some reason. I don't know why. There are many other herbs that you can use to fight off infections or colds. I'll leave a link in the description about that. Next thing I want to talk about is your pH levels inside your body. pH levels, I don't think a lot of people know about this, and I don't think most of the doctors warn you about this when you have either acid reflux or you have an infection that just won't go away, right? Like, it's a stare. Why won't it leave, right? So, about pH levels is that it's just like how I said, the whole yin and yang in your stomach, the whole good bacteria, bad bacteria, right? The pH levels specifically means like there's a certain amount of alkaline in your body, and there's a certain amount that's not alkaline, like acidic, whatever, right? And the balance for that pH is you have to have it between 7.4 pH level, right? If you go any below that, you're probably gonna have acid reflux, or you're going to lose like your immune system itself is pretty much based on pH levels. If you have a low pH level, your immune system is not gonna work very well. Like it'll shut off. It's just like having a lot of stress. This is the excuse that most doctors give you if they can't find a cure for what's going on. If you like, they don't know what's wrong with you, so they say stress, whatever. And it's like when you're stressed, whatever, your body creates more acid, right? And your body goes into the fight or flight mode, right? Which makes you do a lot of things, like you're more focused and things. It's like, for instance, right? It's like there's a mad murderer trying to kill you, whatever, right? And your stress response acts up, and you're like super. If you watch Gundam Seed, you have that seed that bursts in your brain or something like that. Now there are ways to let your pH level, if it's low, there are ways to increase it and there's ways to lower it. And these ways are just simple as like greenery foods, like foods that are like vegetables and fruits. Usually, the most easiest way to raise your pH level, right, is baking soda. If you take baking soda, it can create an alkaline environment for the good bacteria in your body, so it can work better. Your immune system can work better. Or you can do, if you want to lower it, I would just say just drink alcohol or whatever, right? Like drink things that are acidic to lower your alkaline levels, because that's what changes it, right? Okay, maybe not alcohol, but vinegar and apple cider vinegar is really good for, well, not vinegar, so apple cider vinegar is really good for acid reflux, or to lower your pH levels, because it's very acidic. There's a lot of acid in there, right? It's been brewed. Vinegar itself has been brewed like alcohol, right? So if you use apple cider vinegar has been brewed by apples, fermented apples or whatever, right? And it's very acidic. So that and tonics, like different tonics, like say you make a tonic out of garlic and what's it called, virgin olive oil. Those kind of things. Those are really acidic things, right? So that can lower your alkaline. I will also leave a link about that in the description as well. And I hope this video helped you. And before, I know that in my previous videos that I talked about what am I supposed to do, because I experienced strep throat, I experienced tonsillitis, and it sucks. It hurts. And you kind of shun yourself in the world. It causes depression. You feel useless, and you lose a lot of money. You lose a lot of money because you can't go to work, or you can't do the things that you want to do, because it doesn't it doesn't just hurt your throat itself. It hurts other parts of your body. So like if your throat can't take as much pain as you think it would take, like your body will move that pain somewhere else. So your leg will hurt, or your arms will hurt, or your back will hurt, or your kidney will hurt, right? And what mostly the tonsillitis or strep throat leads to is heart failure and kidney failure, which is a big no-no. So I would be more aware about more natural ways of healing your body and protecting yourself from free radicals or whatever. And I hope this video helped you. Like and share this video to a person who really having a shitty life with an infection and they can't get over it. And it really, I wish that someone told me about this before all this happened, in the first stages, because if I got it in the first stages, it wouldn't have been so long that I would have this infection, right? So, yeah, that's alright. And we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.